Hi everyone, no Aika today, but this video should still be quite helpful, so keep watching until the very end. In this video, we'll be going over some of the things that you should get done shortly after the birth of your baby. Some of the topics may not be obvious to you, but should definitely be worth considering because the benefits are potentially huge. One of the first things that you should do is fill out your employer's life-changing events form to add your child to your benefits. This includes life insurance and healthcare. In regards to healthcare, I hope you won't need to buy your baby medicine for a while, but the reality is you'll have to do it eventually, and so making sure that their medicine is covered is extremely important. Aika has eczema, and no matter how high we cranked the humidifier or put on lotion, we weren't getting much progress and ultimately needed a prescription strength cream. In addition to that, at around the 4 or 5 month mark, she developed a cough and we needed some medicine to clear that up as well. Thankfully, that's all we've needed for her so far. I filled out the form as soon as possible just because I was worried how long it would take to process. Luckily, it didn't take that very long, but you should still do it as soon as you can anyways. By the way, on a side note, if you can, consider getting your medication from Costco to save money on dispensing fees. So another thing that you'll want to get for your child as soon as possible is a SIM card. People often associate getting a SIM card with acquiring the ability to work, but it's also necessary in opening an RESP. Once an RESP is open, you can then apply for the Canada Learning Bond and the Canada Education Savings Grant. There are specific stipulations to them, so you should read up on them from the Government of Canada's website. Even if money is tight and you can't fund the RESP regularly, I'd still recommend that you open them at least to receive the contribution from the government. The reason it's important that you get this going as soon as possible is because if you use the RESP as an investment vehicle, you can maximize your time in the market and also take advantage of dividend accumulation. With that being said though, invest at your own risk. Definitely do your due diligence and don't gamble your baby's future away on like penny stocks or high risk stuff. While we're on the topic of government money, you should apply for anything that you're also entitled to, such as the Canada Child Benefit and the Alberta Affordability Payment. The latter applies to residents of Alberta. I'm not sure what grants apply to you, so you'll have to do some research, but every dollar helps, and so you should take advantage where you can. The final thing on my to-do list is getting your baby a passport. At the time of this video, the world is opening and traveling is on the rise. Lots of babies were born during the pandemic, and so there's a large demand on passports. Because of this, I applied for Aika's passport at the 2-month-old mark, even though it was 7 months before we actually needed it to visit her great-grandmother. Acquiring the passport was a bit messy, just because I never got confirmation that it was ready to be picked up. After waiting for quite a bit of time, I contacted Service Canada and they told me that it shipped and it was waiting for me. I ran over to the post office and they told me that I was lucky because they were sitting on it for about 2 months, which is weird because typically after a month they will send that passport back to Ottawa to get destroyed. So yeah, it was the weirdest thing. On the packaging, the bottom half of the claim ticket was there, but I swear I never got the top half, and so I lucked out and I was able to get Aika's passport. So yeah, give yourself plenty of buffer room when you apply for the passport just to account for delays and shenanigans. Regarding the baby's passport photo, I'd recommend against Shoppers Drug Mart. The staff were great, and it's not a knock against them, it's just that they weren't equipped to take a baby's passport photo. So typically what I've been told by the staff there is that the baby is lying down on like a white bed or something like that, and the camera is taking a picture from the top down. Now at Shoppers, they didn't have like a bed or anything, so what I had to do was shove my hand up the shirt of Aika, hold her head, but you couldn't see my arm or my fingers, and I had to tilt her back because I couldn't have a hand in front to stop her from flopping over. It was super awkward, and I actually had to hold her quite a ways away to stay out of frame. So I was really worried about dropping her, and ultimately a staff member had to do it, and even then, even though she's done it quite a bit, I still felt really uncomfortable. So, yeah, avoid getting a baby passport photo at Shoppers. Just go to a photo studio, is what I would recommend. But yeah, so yeah, that's my list. I hope you found it helpful. Obviously, nothing was super critical, but I'm pretty confident in saying that it was all still pretty important and it should help your family in the long run. I know for my family, anyways, my wife was super exhausted after birth, and knowing that I had these things taken care of was a big comfort for her. I can confidently say that Aika has a great head start.